when we started the development of our game in its current state, we originally started with the idea of, since it's going to be an educational game, and we wanted to think of a game that would work well with a text adventure, something like our origin game that we started the concept on, Oregon Trail, because that game teaches you a lot about how dangerous the path to Oregon was during that Great Migration. So we thought it would be a great idea to teach people the way that Mars works in the same sort of way, since it is a very hostile environment where you have to keep track of things like food and water, but also have to account for things like oxygen, radiation, and other features. And we also chose this concept because you could easily mesh educational features with it, like things with Mars's environment, its structure, and including a sort of high-tech sort of setting with an advanced robot with you could teach you a lot about random facts about Mars, information at a middle school level. So things like Mars is the fourth planet from the sun, and the orbital period of Mars. It's easy to mesh those features together in a way that makes sense in that kind of setting, because that information can be helpful for you as an ultimate survival feature, because if you're going to survive, you need to know what you need to eat every single day. You need to know how far you have to go. You need to know things like radiation levels that are safe to sustain whilst on Mars, and also you need to be careful of your oxygen levels so you don't suffocate, because that's a very very real threat when you're living on Mars. And so and along with that, we could include a lot of other features, but the decision to make it based on an Oregon Trail style of game very much works with what we're planning to do with the ultimate game concept.
So like Kyle said earlier in the video, we based our game largely off of an Oregon Trail style game, except for in text instead of how Oregon Trail is. So basically I took one basic mechanic, which was walking, and you're trying to get from where your ship crash landed all the way to the Isidis Platania, where there's a base with a ship where you can escape. And you have to manage resources and try not to die, essentially, on your way there. And there are a lot of different scenarios that can kill you, a lot of different fun stuff that can slow you down, stuff like that. But basically, the main mechanic in the game is just typing the word walk, and you'll see the resources, and it'll ask you what you want to do now. And you just keep walking until you need to reset your stuff. You can take breaks. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can ask your robot companion a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different things about Mars. You can ask him just for random facts, how long you can survive, just basic stuff like that. And that's basically how the game works.
I'm going to explain about educational aspects and some of our mechanics in our games, the Mars games. The Mars has different environment than Earth environment. It is full of radiation and difficult to find food, water, or shelter. Also, Mars does not have oxygen, so we must wear spacesuits to live or survive. Facts that we human can live without water for 3 days, which is 72 hours, and without any food for 7 days, 168 hours. To survive ourselves alone may be too harsh or too difficult, so we added a robot like Artemis Jarvis The robot will help you to give facts about the day of Mars, like what's your temperature, or what's the environment about around near you, and the robot will guide you to get through the Mars, and like robot will let you know if there's any dust storms in front of you, so you must find a shelter to avoid the dust storms. Like for example, and to get oxygen from Mars, we have midpoint bases, and there are some leftover food, water, food, oxygen to get refills. To make water, you need one hydrogen molecules and two oxygen molecules to create. So in the midpoint base, you can use some oxygen from some of the base oxygen tanks and some of the leftover hydrogen nearby container of rocket fuel and burn them together in the right proportions using this machine to create H2O. And you can walk in our game and check food, check water, or make water, and or drink or eat and take shelter. And there are levels for the oxygen, thirst, hunger, and the radiation levels. You must watch out while you survive and get through the Mars. And you gotta regulate the levels of not to suffer from the hunger or thirst. And you gotta watch out the radiation levels. Thank you.